Jasmine Crockett's Bodyguard reportedly had long criminal history for fraud, theft. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett's bodyguard, who was killed in a standoff with police this week, reportedly had a checkered past. The bodyguard went by Mike King, but CBS News is now reporting that was an alias, and his real name was Diamond Mazer Robinson. The outlet reports Robinson was using aliases while running a business that put cops in off-duty security jobs, and he reportedly found himself in the crosshairs of a federal investigation for allegedly impersonating an officer. According to CBS, Robinson was arrested numerous times, including 7 times for theft, between 2009 and 2012. His conviction sentences reportedly led to a series of relatively small fines as well as probation, never jail time. Some officers who were allegedly placed in positions by Robinson's company reportedly told the outlet he presented himself as a detective with U.S. Capitol Police. As you know, Robinson was reportedly being pursued by SWAT officers in Dallas Wednesday night when he ran into a hospital parking garage and barricaded himself inside a vehicle. CBS News reports cops smoked Robinson out of the vehicle with tear gas, at which point they say he drew a gun, which was followed by him being shot dead by officers on a warm afternoon in Washington. The city hummed with the usual rhythm of politics, sirens in the distance, reporters rushing across marble steps, and cameras waiting for the next headline. Congresswoman Alana Brooks had grown used to the noise. What she had never quite grown used to was the quiet man who stood a step behind her wherever she went. His name was Marcus Hale. Marcus was tall, broad-shouldered, and almost unnervingly calm. He wore the same dark suit every day, his eyes scanning every room with the patience of someone who had learned long ago that danger rarely announces itself. Staffers called him the Wall. Reporters sometimes joked he looked like a character from an action movie, but few people knew anything about him. And that was exactly how Marcus liked it. Sunglasses. A past that didn't stay buried. Before he became a bodyguard, Marcus had lived a very different life. Years earlier, his name had appeared in police reports across 2 states. Fraud. Identity theft. Small-time cons. Nothing glamorous, just clever scams run from cheap apartments and dimly lit internet cafes. He had been good at it, too good. Marcus understood people. He could read hesitation in a voice, predict when someone would trust him, sense exactly which lie would slip past a stranger's defenses. It was a skill set that worked beautifully for deception, and later surprisingly well for protection. But skill doesn't erase consequences. When he was 30, Marcus was arrested during a fraud investigation that uncovered a network of stolen identities. The case didn't make national news, but it changed his life. After serving time and completing years of probation, Marcus stepped back into the world with something unfamiliar: regret. Prison had given him plenty of time to think. Too much time, actually. Hourglass not done. He realized that the same instincts he once used to manipulate people could be used to protect them. A strange second chance. Marcus's path into security work wasn't straightforward. Most agencies refused to hire someone with his record. Background checks ended conversations quickly. Doors closed. Phone calls stopped returning. Until one day, a small private security contractor gave him a chance. People with perfect pasts sometimes miss what real trouble looks like, the company owner had said. You don't. Marcus started with low-level assignments, night patrols, warehouse security, escorting minor public figures. Over time, he built a reputation for something unusual: anticipation. He didn't just react to threats. He sensed them. Crowd movements, suspicious glances, the subtle tension that appears seconds before chaos. Marcus noticed it all. Eventually, that reputation reached Congresswoman Brooks, the politician and the protector. Brooks was known for her sharp speeches and fearless debates. She didn't shy away from controversial topics, which meant protests followed her everywhere. Some were peaceful, some were not. After one rally where security briefly lost control of the crowd, her team decided she needed a dedicated personal guard. Marcus was recommended. When Brooks first met him, she noticed 2 things immediately. He barely spoke, and he never looked nervous. "Anything I should know about your background?" she asked bluntly during their first meeting. Marcus didn't dodge the question. "I've made mistakes," he said calmly. But I don't make them twice. It wasn't a polished answer,
but it was honest.
She hired him anyway. Rumors begin. In politics, secrets rarely stay hidden. Months after Marcus joined the team, a blogger uncovered fragments of his past. Old court documents, mugshots, charges that dated back more than a decade. Soon, whispers circulated online. How can a politician trust someone with that record? Is this a security risk? Who hired this guy? The story spread quickly. Marcus didn't respond publicly. Neither did Brooks at first. But inside her office, the staff buzzed with nervous conversations. Maybe we should replace him, one aide suggested quietly. Brooks shook her head. You're judging the man he was, she said. I'm judging the man standing in front of me. The night everything changed. A few weeks later, Brooks attended a town hall meeting packed with angry constituents. The room was tense before the event even began. Marcus sensed it immediately. One man near the back of the crowd wasn't shouting like the others. He was too still, watching the stage with a strange focus. Marcus moved closer. Seconds later, the man lunged forward, trying to climb onto the stage. Marcus intercepted him instantly. The entire confrontation lasted less than 3 seconds. Chairs scraped across the floor. Security rushed in. Police were called. The man turned out to be carrying a concealed weapon. Later that night, as reporters gathered outside the building, Brooks addressed the situation. My security officer stopped something dangerous tonight, she said. And I trust him completely. Marcus stood quietly behind her, just as he always did. Redemption isn't simple. People love simple stories. Villains become heroes. Criminals reform overnight. Redemption arrives neatly wrapped in a single moment. Real life isn't like that. Marcus knew his past would always follow him. Articles might surface again. Critics might question him again. Some people would never believe he had changed. And maybe that was fair. But every day he stood beside Brooks, watching crowds, scanning exits, noticing danger before anyone else did. He proved something small but important. People are not only the worst thing they have done. Sometimes they are what they choose to do next. Sunrise. Marcus Hale had once made a living deceiving strangers. Now he spent every day making sure no one could harm the person he protected. And in the quiet space between those two lives, he had found something he never expected. A second chance, locked with key.